start out with 1-minute introductions.
Okay.
And Roger, you draw the number one, so you're going to go first on this one. You're going to have a minute.
Okay. My name is Roger Williams, and I'm from Limestone County. I come down here in 1979, and I become a single parent in 1981. So I raised 4 boys in the Athens City school system. And it was a kind of a steep thing to do, you know, single man working, raising kids. But anyway, I got them all through, and they turned out pretty good. And I met my current wife in 1994, and we live in Limestone County in the Ivy Chase subdivision. And I just feel like, I love this place. I want to see it prosper. I want to see it to grow. I want everybody to be happy and their kids to be happy. You know, it's just an amazing place to live, and I want to keep it that way. With that.
All right. Danny, if you want to make your 1-minute introduction.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My name's Danny Barksdale. I'm the Republican nominee for District 2 Limestone County Commissioner. I would like to thank the Chamber and the News Courier for sponsoring this event. I appreciate their initiative into wanting a more informed electorate. I'm a lifelong resident of Limestone County with the exception of 4 years in the Army. I got out of the Army and started school on the GI Bill and got a degree in accounting from the University of Montevallo. I think I can make a difference in helping Limestone County. The main challenge I see for Limestone County at this time is managing our growth within the borders of our existing revenue funds. Thank you.
Thank you. And on this next question, Roger, you're going to go first, and Danny, then you'll have a 1-minute response after that. What is the biggest issue facing your district in District 2, and what is the biggest issue facing Limestone County? And then also, how do you plan to address those issues?
Okay, well, the biggest issue we have in Limestone County, especially in District 2, we've got 700 new homes being built. And we got a plant coming in here, the Mazda Toyota plant, that's going to bring in about 5,000 new jobs. So our infrastructure is really not set for that. You know, we don't have the money. There's not enough money wasted to cover this. We've got to find new ways to make money. So, and you can't do it with existing money, because I think a traffic light, you know, to add an intersection, like on Jones Road, is like $150,000 to $250,000 just for one intersection. So, and I think they need 2, because there's 3 subdivisions coming in that area. So that's a lot of money, and it's we're going to have to look at different places, you know, to draw the money from. I mean, it seems to me like we give these abatements to all these people to come in here, but yet the state leaves us high and dry on how we're going to maintain, you know, how we're going to improve the infrastructure. I mean, the money just don't fall out of the sky. So, you know, you got to try to get money from the state, like a growing fee. Let's see. You got to redistribute the existing local funds. We got to change spending priorities. Things that really don't need to be spent, we need to change it. That can wait. We got to explore new annexing revenue, because whenever the cities like Huntsville, Madison, Decatur, when they annex our area, they take on the responsibility of the roads. So that's a plus for us. But the negative side of that is the people that live there, you know, they use the roads coming in and out, so it's still going to put some damage to the roads outside.
Danny, if you want to respond, you've got 1 minute.
Thank you. As I said in my opening statement, I think the main challenge for the commission is managing our growth within our current revenue funds. The Code of Alabama prevents counties, they give them no authority to raise funds at all. So you're going to have to redistribute your existing funds. Now, when you say infrastructure approval, That will be between Athens, Huntsville, Madison, all of them. We have resources to deal with it. We're just going to have some inconvenient times with traffic and such. Greenbrier Parkway, when it's open down here, that will relieve a lot of congestion toward the southern part. That, of course, that's in District 3. But I think we have the resources to deal with our growth, and we have the people to do it.
Roger, you've got 30 seconds if you want to.
Well, I disagree with you, Danny. I don't think we got the money. I've studied this thing to the T. I've talked with John Meredith out of Huntsville, the newly elected council, and he's in agreement. We got to do something. The money's not there, and I'm the guy that's going to get it there.
Danny, this next question is going to be about roads and transportation, and you're going to get to go first on that one, and you've got a 2-minute response. We talked a little bit about some of the roads in your district in the last question. What are top priority road projects for your district?
Well, District 2 is probably in better shape road-wise than any of the other districts, primarily because they have 181 miles of roads, where District 4 probably has 320-something, 340, District 3. District 2 is the smallest district. They try to keep the same population in all 4 districts. The District 2, being a more populated area, of course, has less road miles. So they have the best roads probably in the county. Capshaw Road is probably going to be one of the next ones to pave. Southern Mooresville Road is a pretty bad road, but it's in District 3. And of course, when Madison or Huntsville annexes something, as Roger said, they become responsible for those roads. So as far as roads go, they're in pretty good shape. Just the growth and a district, I would rely on traffic counts and a county engineer for what we need to do in District 2.
All right, thank you. Roger, if you want to respond, what top priority road projects are in that district?
Well, there's quite a few of them, and it's a lot bigger than resurfacing. Mooresville Road needs to be 4-lane. You wouldn't believe the traffic is backed up. I mean, people coming home from work, they're backed up way past the Chevron station. Whenever you're trying to get home, you used to come down 72, well, now you can't. You go down Capshaw. Now Capshaw's backed up. So it's going to be a situation where we got to add intersections. We got to add lanes. We got to add turn lanes, and it's not cheap. It costs a lot of money for 1 mile of road. And, you know, repaving is good, but we're beyond that now. We're in a bigger danger now of not having the capacity for cars to commute on.
And
Danny, if you want to follow up on that.
Well, I agree with him. Roads cost a lot of money. A mile of road, I think, is about $131,000. An intersection is probably $2 or $3 million. The county budget for roads last year was $350,000. So I don't know how you're going to build intersections with $350,000.
All right, thank you. Roger, you're going to start with this next question, and it has to do with a comprehensive plan and future land use. This is a 2-part question, so it's going to take just a minute to get through.
Okay.
All right. Limestone County has a lot of available and desirable land for development. What would be your plan for growth and future land use in those areas? And then in part 2, what areas do you think have the most potential for future growth, and what areas do you think are a priority for future growth?
Well, I believe, of course, here we go back to District 2. I don't know the figure, but there's a lot of them for sale for for use of building houses. I mean, not houses, but businesses and all that kind of stuff. But my plan would be all these new houses being built, these new subdivisions, there should be a assessment. Let's see what it is. It's a growth. Yeah, it's a growth tax that the developer needs to be paying to accommodate, to help finance the infrastructure that needs to come up. I mean, it's not only roads. You got your water lines, you got your sewage, you got your garden pickup, you got, police protection, fire protection. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And it cannot be done unless we manage and plan this new growth. You can't let just everybody come in without a plan. If you do, you're going to affect the people that's been here for a long time. They're going to have to take up the slack on the money, taxes, while the people making all the money is not going to have to pay anything. But your old taxpayers that's been here a long time, if you have to raise the taxes to get this done. I'm not for, it's up to the people in my district. I'm not for or against. It's whatever their choice is. If they choose to raise taxes, fine. If they choose to leave things like it is, fine. It's up to them.
And Danny, what would your response be to that question?
Well, I'm all for maintaining a business-friendly environment for Limestone County, but as Roger said a while ago, we have swallowed an elephant in the Toda Mazda plant. So I'm not opposed to digesting that rascal a little bit while we prepare infrastructure and do other things to get prepared for it. The term Roger's looking for on developers helping to fund developments is called impact fees. If a subdivision comes into your area, you can assess a fee, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 to help fund any cost that subdivision causes. If it requires a red light's $150,000. Well, you'll recoup enough from those impact fees to install that red light, where now it's just at the taxpayer's expense who's been here for 50 years, and then you got a new person moving in from out of town that's never paid a penny of Limestone County taxes. So I hadn't made a decision yet, but I think I would probably favor impact fees. I'm sorry, did I go over?
Roger, you've got 30 seconds if you want to respond.
Okay, well, thank you for straightening me out on the impact fee. It was at the tip of my tongue, but I couldn't get there. But I agree, that is the things that we got to do. We got to get revenue in that's coming from somebody else besides the taxpayer. And we can't cut our programs like we was talking earlier about schools. Man, our schools are busting out of the seam. And we got to do something about it. We got to know, we got to have a plan to know what we're going to do about it. We can't stick them in trailers, and let that be.
All right, we're going to skip around here because y'all were touching on a subject that I have a question about for both of y'all. Danny, you're going to go first on this one. Neighboring counties have recently discussed impact fees, which is a fee imposed on a new or proposed development project to pay for all or a portion of the cost providing public services to a new development. Do you think impact fees are something we need to be discussing more here in Limestone County, and why or why not?
I certainly do, and I think I haven't completed my study on that, but as I've said before, most of us have lived here for all our lives. We've paid Limestone County taxes all our lives. Most of the people, the subdivisions that are starting are people coming in from Huntsville. They come to Limestone County because they can get more house for the money. So I don't have a problem charging them a $5,000 impact fee on a home. To me, that lets them get caught up with the taxes Limestone County citizens have paid all their life. And most of the new developments will be occupied by people who are moving into the county. So to answer your question, yes.
All right. Roger, what do you feel about impact fees?
I feel like we need to have impact fees. I mean, they need to help pay for the cost of the change that they made to our communities. So I'm all for impact fees. And, you know, and another thing, I feel like the state should not leave us hanging high and dry. You know, they get us these big businesses, which is good. I love having Toyota come in here. But we give them all these abatements and keep all the, you know, y'all don't have to pay this, y'all don't have to pay that. Then the taxpayers have to pick up the slack. But I think the government ought to have a emergency funding for counties in a certain level of growth, like Limestone County's in. Because I don't care who you are, when you're being thrown that big of an elephant, I mean, it's tough. It is tough.
Danny, did you want to follow up on that question?
No, I'm good.
All right. So, Roger, you're going to go first with this question. There are some who believe Limestone County is missing out on substantial tax revenue by not allowing legal alcohol sales. Are you in favor of legalizing alcohol sales, and why or why not?
Well, that is a touchy question. Because I just finished 4-year ministry class, so that's a hard thing to say. But the truth of it is, if you can go, you know, to Madison County and buy your liquor, you can go, you know, to Lauderdale, Morgan, or even go to Athens City and then take it into the county. I think the county's missing out on some money. And I'm really for getting all the revenue we can. I mean, if the people's going to drink, then they ought to be helping out with our taxes. I mean, like I said, that is a very hard question, and I just tell it like it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I just think, you know, I think it's the best thing to do.
Danny, what do you feel on that?
Well, I'm a non-drinker, but it makes no sense to me that you can buy alcohol on one side of the street, walk across the street, and you can't buy it. In Limestone County, you're no more than 5 minutes away from alcohol sales anywhere you live. So I don't see distinguishing between in the city and in the county. I would make it all one law.
Do you want to follow up on that, or?
No, I agree.
Okay. All right.
I agree.
Well, y'all are over the hard part.
It wasn't too tough a question.
No, that wasn't too bad.
We're going to move on to closing statements. So, Danny, you get to go first on your closing statement.
Well, I'm gonna have to get my Zooms on for that. I got all this time, had to get my Zooms on. If elected, I will be a strong conservative voice on the county commission. Our county may be facing some issues, but I do not agree with my opponent's statement that Limestone County is in trouble. We have a low unemployment rate, good sources, and a great community of some of the finest people I have ever met. We will be experiencing some growing pains like additional traffic, but nothing the people of Limestone County and the Commission cannot effectively manage together. I love Limestone County and will do my best to ensure that the County Commission serves you with honesty and integrity. That was my standard while serving in the United States Army, and I will bring that same commitment to the County Commission. Thank you for your time, and God bless you.
Thank you, Danny. Roger, if you want to make your closing statement.
Yeah, and like I said, I can't see how Danny don't believe that we're in trouble with all the growth that's going on. With, you know, I mean, our existing roads we got potholes, you know, everywhere, and we can't even fix them, much less, you know, build new roads and new intersections, new schools, add fire departments, police departments. But I think we are in serious trouble, and I think you got to recognize that. If you don't recognize that, then I don't think you would perform very well as a commissioner. I see these problems. I research these problems. I talked to John Meredith out of Huntsville. They annexed. I've talked to the city engineer. I know exactly what kind of trouble that we're in. I know his concerns. And we got a hard job to do. And my hat's off for the current commissioners because they got a tough job. And I'm wanting to help, so vote for me and I'll be on the team and we'll get this thing fixed.
Well, I want to thank both of y'all. Thank you so much.